Well, the professionalism of La Republic de Cameroon ends when money is involved. The ongoing Amazonian decolonization has greatly exposed how corrupt and heartless the La Republic de Cameroon's government are. The scheme of the colonial government is to empty southern Cameroons and the Amazon of their resources, their endowment, and reflected other attitude of La Republic de Cameroon's so-called forces of other against the Amazonian populace. These dogs keep multiplying strategies to extort from the innocent people of Amazonia. This act of extortion is mostly gotten as ransom for the freedom of those that they kidnapped. Trick they use is laying accusations on their victims, accusing them of associating with the Amazonian Restoration Forces, a resistance army put in place by the interim government. The mandate to end Amazonia from La Republic to Cameroon and forcing La Republic to Cameroon and enablers out of Amazonia.
Well, the recent extortion trap of the La République du Cameroon forces is the people of Awing. Those are the next people on their list. They are kidnapping people of the Wing village of Santa local government area and taxing them to pay cutthroat sums to regain their freedom. We're wondering when Polatanga NG says these are professional, is this the professionalism he talked about? Territorial administrator giving them this particular name, professional, sounds quite very the opposite. This is the name he calls them in every attempt to defend their excesses, the excesses of these criminal forces. Is it that they are not well paid that pushes them to go ahead and extorting money from Amazonians who are already struggling to make ends meet?
Well, the people of Awing are the latest on the list of La Republic to Cameroon colonial forces in their kidnapping and extortion plan. Many villagers are still in the keeping of La Republic Cameroon forces as they are unable to pay the huge amount of money demanded as ransom. Reports from Awing hold that villagers have continuously been kidnapped by La Republic Cameroon terrorist forces deployed to Awing to enforce the colonial policy. Those who were unable or who were able to meet up with the ransom that ranged from 50,000 francs regained their freedom even though they were kidnapped for no just cause.
Well, the kidnapping started with drivers in a failed attempt to make their drivers transport them from a wing to Birmingham. After the La Republic sponsored attack in Birmingham, the drivers then became first kidnapped targets. Many are asking why La Republic Colonia terrorizing forces with well reinforced pickup vehicles will not use those vehicles with all the protection they might have in them for transport vehicles. The conclusion is that these La Republique du Cameroon terrorizing forces want to drag the drivers into their massacre plan. Since the refusal of the Awing drivers to transport them, the drivers have become kidnapped targets by these terrorizing forces. The sweeping accusation from the colonial forces is that Awing drivers are collaborated with the Amazonian Restoration Forces of that local government area. Each kidnapped driver is being asked to pay sums from 50,000 naira franc CFA upwards.
Well, kidnapping is not only limited to drivers. If you are appointed to have had contacts with the ARF forces or you have by any way disobeyed any instructions from La Republic to Cameroon colonial forces, you are immediately kidnapped. A pundit says it is all about greed and all the burning nature of eating on other people's sweat that La Republic to Cameroon forces are doing what they are doing and not the baseless accusations that they are dishing out.
Well, last time in Big Babanki, all the active population had to flee the village as either they were being killed or compelled to pay heavily for freedom after being kidnapped. Now, it is the same treatment that they give to inhabitants of the neighborhood after the Bengui pack in Mancon. After the Amazonian Restoration Forces armed them and inflicted pain on them, those areas were kidnapped. They were only freed by the terrorizing forces after paying ransom, the selling of shops in their local government areas in Amazonia, as in Mbegui, Tico, and in Victoria by the colonial mayor is in line with the extortion mechanism put in place by their hierarchy.